So, as it is in, I guess, pretty much anywhere in August, it's oppressively hot here in Hitachi. I've been putting off making this video for multiple days now just because I don't want to be out in the sunlight, and then like by the time the day's over I'm like, oh, like I'll make it in the evening. By the time the day's over I'm like, well, I forgot to make that video again. So we're gonna do it. Let's go. So it's been pretty good summer season so far. Johnny's he's on summer break. He started his summer break the last week of July, and he goes back to school the first week of September. So he's got about a month-long break that he's home with us, and we've had to kind of readjust a little bit to that, having stuff for him to do or bringing him along to my Bible studies and stuff like that. And this past Monday was the last day of midterms for the IC students. So the last few weeks have kind of been up and down with them. On one hand, they're busy, studying and stuff like that. So the consistency of our meeting, like every week or a couple times a week, started to go down. And now they're on summer break for like the next 4 weeks. So we'll see some of them, but some of them live kind of far from here. And since they're not already in the area for school, it's just kind of like, hey, we'll see you guys in a month kind of a deal. So the summer season is really all over the place for us. Bethany's got like a different schedule in the summer, and she's meeting like a lot earlier for some of her classes now. And we just finished a summer camp for her school, like English summer camp. And there's been a lot of just different summer stresses that we've been dealing with, kind of, like one time a year things. I've got to renew my passport. We've got the summer camp, all of that kind of stuff. And luckily, well, not luckily, of course, God's been faithful in helping us through that. And, hopefully things will calm down pretty soon. My sister got married at the end of July. So we've been saving up our airline miles for like 4 years, and I used those, and I was able, just me, sadly, I was able to go back for my sister's wedding, spend some time with her, and my parents were there, which was really nice. And so I flew back, and I was there just for like 3 nights and 2 days. So, spent like 2 days flying and 2 days in America, which threw a little bit of a wrench in our normal family stuff, but it worked out fine. It's Obon season starting next week. It's a pretty spiritually active time here in Japan, and so please pray for us as that time begins and we start dealing with that. Usually Bethany and I have lots of dreams and different things like that, and already I feel like I've begun to notice like more spiritual activity. And anyway, then I guess I'll just wrap up with, I met this guy while I was flying back. And when you're talking with people while you're traveling, eventually comes up, oh, why are you in Japan? What do you do in Japan? And usually if I say I'm a missionary, like the conversation just drops. But this guy apparently has connections with some missions groups, and he was actually on his way to Thailand with his wife to volunteer at like some missions conference and such. And so he gave me his information and I emailed him. So we'll see, maybe we'll make some good connections and partner with some more people who are moved by what God's doing here in Japan. That would be awesome. Like these summer months it's weird because I think how relaxed yet busy it is, right? People are on vacation, so they're wanting to go do things. It's not their daily routine, which is a big part of what we do, is meet with them during their daily routine. And then we also are wanting to do things for the summer. You want to go to the beach, you want to spend time as a family. Bethany's going to try and teach Johnny how to swim, that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's our update for July. I've got 4 prayer requests here. Please pray for grace for us. during this time. You know, we're stressed out. It's a spiritually active season. Things just aren't normal, right? So pray for us that we'll have grace. Pray for hunger to stir in the hearts of non-believers in our community, and for Jesus to woo them toward him, right? Like, there's quite a few seekers in our community, and there's some that have been in that place for a long time, and my prayer for them is that Jesus would just continue to draw them toward him, and that, you know, that he would stir up desire and hunger, and that he would meet them in a real way. So please join me in prayer for that, for the non-believers that are in our community, that are spending a lot of time with us, and pray for a fresh encounter for us and the believers in our community. You know, we really do need our daily bread, and not just me and Bethany, but the other leaders in our community, other believers, and just the believers around this area in the local churches and such, that Jesus would break in with power, that God would meet people with power, and really that there would be power on testimonies, and that God would just break in this area. And, you know, we could use more financial support. There's been things we've wanted to do, and we've had a dip recently, which I feel like is what missionaries always talk about. Hey, we've had a dip in our financial support, and if you are able and willing, please consider not just joining us in prayer, but also finances. And so I always feel really uncomfortable bringing it up, but yeah, we are limited in what we can do based on our resources, and I would love to do more, and I'm asking God that if that is his heart, that there would be more resources for us to reach out in more ways. And if you want to partner with us in that and what God's doing here, I've got links down in the description. Love you guys. Have a good summer and keep cool. Peace.